All right, happy Monday. Welcome back. Good to see. Well, I haven't seen you for a while in the morning either. It's good to see. Looks like you're in town.
Only for today.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed. It seems like I would have always expected to see you at like the Wednesday night workouts, of course, but you're probably never around. Power cleans today. So we haven't done a workout that kind of emphasizes that as the main thing for a while. And I know everyone's got different implements, so we'll talk about bunches of ways we can work through that wave loading style. So let's start off with our neck. We'll do a couple different neck things to kind of loosen up that front rack position. Start with our basic neck circle. Getting paid for this time. And then take hand to the opposite shoulder blade, and then turn and look away from that side. And without letting your ribs come up, we want to drop the chin down toward the armpit and create a stretch. So gentle on this one, doesn't need to be too intense. Doing about 5 little nods. And same thing on the other side. Pull the elbow back, rotate. And then with some shoulder blade circles. Do about 3 here in the front. And we'll go out about 45 degrees. So I'm not way out to the side. I'm kind of, I guess, like a Y, a forward-facing Y, if you will. So it's a slightly different angle. See if you can get that same sensation of full shoulder blade movement at that angle. And then keeping the Y, we'll go up to about 45 degrees. So I'm not overhead, but just kind of incline angle. Back the other way. And then we'll kind of bring our fingers in. We're kind of in a pseudo front rack position, peeling the fingers back, scooping the elbows up. Grab fingers and hit rack position. Not sure if anyone these days follows such things, but a local guy won the CrossFit Games this year. Justin from CrossFit Fort Vancouver.
Cool.
Old buddy, Adam's gym. He was once one of our trainers back in the day. We'll go spinal circle. Back. And let's go cat-cow for the lower body. There's one more for the spine. And then we'll do our hip circles from here. So that'd be knee up, out to the side, rotate up. per side. And then pointing the toes, and we'll sit back onto the heels. Let the front of the shins stretch out for a moment. And if you need less tension, lean forward. Feel like you can handle a little more, lean back. Let's also get our quads a little bit at the same time. And we can plant the hands behind. A little bit of squeeze. And switch it over more into the quad stretch. It's a little bit like a hero pose, not exactly. And we'll come forward, pull the toes under, scoot back now, and same thing, leaning back now with the toes under. I'm stretching the big toes, bottom of the feet, that plantar fascia. And then we can tip up into a ball of foot squat. And separate your feet into a little bit more of your normal squat stance. And then from there, we can work to drop the heels down. Or just in our basic squat. And just slowly pop up out of that. That sounds like the puppy. Okay, so that's the warm-up part. So power cleans. Let's talk about the power clean here. So it's if you have barbells, you're looking at 6 sets, and you'll notice that it alternates 3 reps, 1 rep, 3 reps, 1 rep, 3 reps, 1 rep. So the idea here is the 3 reps are relatively consecutive. They don't need to be touch and go. You can clean it, drop it, reset. But you do want to be able to do the same weight fairly smoothly for 3 consecutive reps. Then you'll take a rest, and when you do the single, it's going to be heavier. So something that is a little more challenging for 1 rep. And then you're going to rest, and then you're going to back the weight down to that 3 rep weight again. Now, each time you do the 3 rep rate, if this works perfectly, your 3 rep will be a little heavier each time, and each time your 1 rep will be a little heavier. So you'll be kind of loading in a seesaw fashion, but ever increasing. As long as you've got the weights to do that, it's possible you won't always be able to increase your 3 rep weight. If you've got dumbbells or kettlebells, assuming that you don't have the load that would make something like that work, 6 sets of between 3 to 5 reps is going to be what you guys will do. Again, choosing reps that fit the weights you have. If you have a single weight, and I know lots do, then this is going to be 3 to 5 per side, 6 sets. So with the dumbbell clean, if you can take it from the floor, that's what you would do. If you have a kettlebell, it's going to be more of the swing style. Pop it in, catch. If you have 2, of course you can do that. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that? All good to go? Okay, so this will be a bulk of the first part of the workout, and then we'll talk about part B, which is related. So once you, barbell folks, don't break your bar down when you finish A, just a heads up. Morning, Bobby. What's up? What's that? Like how? Really hot.
Stomach feel very hot on the inside. I cannot get
It's a little cooler out here. Probably something with the puppy. Can you give her, you know how to feed her with the food bowl?
Wait, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh, she's been asleep. I had a client.
Okay.
Yeah, so she give her like 3 scoops. Yeah, nice, Nicole. Looks good. Yeah, Andrew, looks good. And ideally, this first set of 3, once you get to your first work weight, is not too challenging. You want to leave room to grow by the final sets. This wave style basically just kind of primes you. Yeah, Val. Looks like you've been practicing those every day.
The shortfall top had to be open because too much. I tried to put all 3 in at once, but too much.
No, you have to kind of open it. You have to do each one at one at a time.
Yeah. I tried to do it so I can
It's funny watching a power clean workout, not being able to hear any of the bar noises.
We need a musical soundtrack to go
Yeah.
with it all. Yeah.
Well, what's funny is earlier on, I forget, someone would play music in the background, which typically wouldn't come through. But I remember that I had a recording or 2 that got flagged for copyright issues because of someone's music in the background that came through for pieces of time when they said something.
Wow, just enough to identify the song.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it was like maybe 1 minute out of an hour recording that even had it on it, but well. Are you hungry, King? There's no already. What's it? You want to do that? And as you're building up, once part B, we're going to front squat. And the ideal thing is whatever your best power clean weight, which most likely would be the final set of 1, that's the load you want to do your front squats with, if you can. Now, those of you that have a squat rack, that will work just fine, because if you successfully clean the weight, you could just walk it back into the rack afterwards, and then it's there and you can work your way through the front squats. But if you have a barbell but you don't have a rack, of course, cleaning that weight enough time to accumulate 15 reps with it probably wouldn't happen. So in that case, you'll probably want to reduce the weight a little bit to something that you're going to be able to clean. So the goal for part B is 15 reps with whatever that heavy weight is. Now, you can break that up however you want. I'd say probably sets of 2 or 3, and just whatever rest you feel you need. But when you're fresher, you can obviously get more reps. Dumbbell kettlebell folks, you guys are going to do 5 sets of 6 at a 1-0 exo tempo, which is going to be dropping just in 1 second and exploding up. So the intent is going to be very explosive through the reps and quick, but no rush. I just was saying that ahead of time just to make sure that no one broke their bar down, or so I assume everyone's still somewhere in the middle of A at this point. I want to throw out the instructions for part B. Oh, I guess after that final set of 1, you could actually, before you rack the bar, you probably could knock out a few front squats and then rack the bar. That could happen too. There's another efficient way to do it. What do you feel like, Ken? Did you get sunburned the other day? You felt really when you came in. Just work on your slide down to the front squats. Let's move through that quick. Brownie needs that too. Aaron, can you manage that? Barbs don't have to.
For the 15 front squats, just accumulate them as in whatever group you can.
Yeah, break the reps however you can. Yeah. Yeah, and on these, I wouldn't rush them, you know, and try to stay pretty fresh. Don't push reps close to failure where they get all grindy. I would try to keep them strong, confident reps and break more frequently. Yeah, goblet squats are a good option if you have a heavy enough weight. Folks coming along later on that might have sandbags could be another front squatting option too if you don't have another good dumbbell kettlebell option for it. Work, guys. And if you finish, once you're finished, go ahead and just wait. We'll wait till everybody's done on part C. Look at the rest of it is grinding our way through that. How many more sets you have, Nicole?
It's either 0 or 1.
Okay,
lost
well,
track.
let's talk about the part C, and if you want to get one more set in somewhere you can.
Okay.
So it's a little 3-round kind of grinder circuit. It's 5 per side of everything across the board. Keep it nice and simple. You've got a single dumbbell or single kettlebell front squat. So this one is
not a goblet squat, so this is gonna be different in that we're intentionally loading one side of the body that you have to kind of stabilize against. So similar to when we do like suitcase deadlifts, we try to keep them very symmetrical as if you had weights on both sides. That's mainly the goal here. If you have kettlebells and dumbbells, I'd say a kettlebell probably sits a little more comfortably if you have the choice of that, but you want it to be something that's sort of challenging. And it's gonna be more, your legs will not have an issue with it. It's more for a core stability than it really is leg strength necessarily. That would be the first thing for 5 per side. Second one is the twisting waiter's press that we've done quite frequently, but you're gonna add a windmill in at the end. So we twist, press, right, we turn to the side, and then from there, I drop into that windmill. So it's really 2 movements in one. If you don't have a plate is the preferred option if you have it, but otherwise a dumbbell or kettlebell will work quite nicely. Then you've got the side plank hip drop. That's the one with the bench here. Hopefully I'm on a bench, feet on the ground, and then I'm dropping into a full stretch through my side and pressing up. Hopefully that was clear enough to see. Lateral squat is basically just a wide stance, pair of dumbbells if you have one, and I'm shifting to the side where the dumbbells are going to be on each side of my leg. I'm kind of squaring my chest with that leg. So it's a little different than a Cossack squat in that my feet are staying planted. They're not rotating out like that. 5 per side there. If you have one weight, on this one, I would hold it on the inside hand, like that if you only have one weight, and then you would switch hands on the other side. And then the last one, the goblet switch, is this one. Could have called it the goblet shin box switch. It's your basic shin box switch with either a dumbbell or a kettlebell in the goblet position as you make the transition, which will open the hips a little more than an unweighted one, and it will also engage your core quite a bit more. And on that one, I wouldn't go too heavy. I think 15 to 25 pounds is probably plenty on that one if you have that option. Oh, you could hold a plate. That's another option as a way to weight that one. So 3 rounds through those 5 things.
And how much longer on your class?
Half an hour.
Okay.
Brownie go up.
I can't get the door open. The long time I can get the door.
Oh, I'll be right back. I got to open the door for the dog. It's one of those dynamic core circuits, as you can see. The side plank is the lateral goblet. And bring the weights, you have two, the weight comes inside, so you're basically bracketing the knee that you're going towards. That kind of keeps you lined up. Yeah, nice, Jared, good transfer. Make sure we're lining the center of their chest up with the front thigh. Five per side on the switches. On the lateral goblets, try to track the feet mostly straight forward too. So Nicole, maybe I'd change your feet so they point straight forward. Yeah, so on these, more like this than like this. And just the reason for that is what we want to do is actually internally rotate this hip as we're coming in and keep the knee kind of in. Yeah. Side planks, always fun, right? Ideally try to find a really good stretch at the bottom of each rep. So you're kind of opening up the range on those side planks.
almost done.
It's over at 7:30. Got spicy by the end, I'm gonna guess.
We have got a bug hive inside of the bananas.
Oh, I know. Yeah, those bananas are, something happened to them. We have to get rid of them, I think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it though.
I'll fix it when I get in. Yeah, those bananas were weird.
I'm like, are those bugs? I poked it, and then the bananas fell.
Yeah. Yeah, they're fell apart very quick.
Can you do it now?
No, it'll be fine.
Oops, right up my nose.
Grandma's just about to go into surgery. Ton of core on those shin box switches, huh? Another fun way to do the shin box switches is overhead, even just with a PVC pipe. It's kind of a good challenge. I was messing around trying to get up to a barbell to do overhead shin box switches earlier in the year, but I just have to get back on that at some point. Oh, nice. Single dumbbell and stacked. It's not easy.
That does make it a little easier, doesn't it?
All right, everybody got that in? How did the final circuit feel there?
The front squats were heavy.
Yeah, a lot of squats. Yeah, this I was surprised that we got through this quicker than I was anticipating. This is one I was a little worried might run over. I think the power clean piece went quicker than I was anticipating. Because sometimes those were 6 sets and changing weights. Those can take a while, but it seems to be a little more efficient in the home setup than it would have been. And maybe you don't have to walk across the gym to get, more plates all the time. I don't know. Well, let's just go with just a real quick. That was a very, mobility based part C as it is. So if you want to get in down dog to cobra, and then we'll finish with some breathing in a child pose position, which is always good to revisit that full expansion. So we want to maintain that, assuming we built some capacity there over the spring. So, and these you can kind of work on, what pieces you need to work on. Like I like to work overhead shrug in the down dog. It's also a great position to work on the lower legs and calves if the ankles are tight. And at the cobra, we can work on extending that upper part of the back. Get a couple cycles, and then when you get into the child's pose, the best position is if you can bring your elbows into your knees, palms up. Make the back relatively flat, so it's not like the angry cat, and then breathe from there. All right, guys, nice work. I guess we'll get a little early finish today. Nicole, you gonna come out Wednesday night this week, you think?
I'm leaving town again on Wednesday. I've had to miss an entire month of Wednesdays.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, probably not this Wednesday, but the next one.
The next one. Yeah, well, I guess Val, you're out of town, and Andrew and Jared, you guys aren't really Wednesday night crew, right?
I've had a harder time now that I've been back at the office getting out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just have things going on, work at that time.